315/8 wheel horse. Guy said he couldn't keep it running. I have the opposite problem. I can't get it to shut off. So, ignition switch. Start looking and these terminals are loose. So whenever you put a multimeter on here and turn it to different places on the switch and test, you can wiggle and lose continuity. So I replaced the switch. That seemed to do absolutely nothing. So I find this wiring diagram. I start following it, and I notice this relay is involved. The white wire goes to the magneto and so forth. So there's a black wire in here, goes to ground. I took this and replaced it with that one, just swapped them. No difference. So I started thinking to myself, follow this wire around here. This plug goes, one wire goes to the charging system. It goes back to the regulator rectifier. But look, it's unplugged. Here's the wires coming from the tractor. So this is completely isolated. The charging system and everything for the ignition system is completely isolated from the tractor. I've put my own ground wire on. It's grounded straight to the magneto with a tight connection. Grounded right straight to the battery terminal, negative. Alright. Theoretically, doing that, also, the other thing I tried, there was a green wire to the oil sending unit. I'd unplugged that. So really the only wires and electric going to this engine is the starter. The only reason it's still on the tractor is because I'm using it just for the starter. Here's a spark tester. Okay, see now, with that ignition coil, magneto, whatever you want to call it here, grounded straight out, it shouldn't see a spark there, should you? And let me tell you, if you accidentally grab a hold of it, it will let you know there's spark. Now here, okay, I turned some lights out so you can see better. You see my wire grounding the coil out, or the armature, magneto, and watch that spark tester. See that spark? Let's do it again so you can see. This is the negative, and this is hooked. Watch this, you can still see that spark. How is that possible? They replaced this a month or so ago when they was having trouble keeping it running. Okay, so I figure this is bypassing everything on the tractor. I can't kill the spark. Let's try a different magneto. So that's what I did. If you notice, this magneto says number 2. Okay, see that? Number 2, number 1. So the only way it should do this, you would think, is if this was defective. But this other new one does the exact same thing. I'm going to put number 1 on and show you with it hooked up like this. Show you me cranking it again. Okay, there it is, 10,000 feeder gauge under number 1 set. Alright, wire's hooked back up. Here's the wire that's supposed to be hooked to it from the tractor, not hooked up. Now my test light over there is hooked to the positive, and the ground, it lights up. If I touch right here, it lights up. If I touch the terminal, it lights up. So it has to be grounded, right? You would think. Now watch this. Ground wire. Number 1. See if I can get you where you can see the spark. See that? That is, I'll do it out here again so you can see. Wire hooked to here, wire hooked to here, grounded. Here, we'll do it up here where you can see better. Ground that it wants to try to run from the positive of my test lead, of my test light right here. Again, to here it lights up bright, to here it lights up bright. Wire going to the charging, and this wire here disconnected. The wire is laying here somewhere for the oil sending unit, disconnected. This engine should be isolated just like it was sitting on the bench. The only thing I'm using electric from the tractor for is run the starter. I guess the electric PTO clutch is still hooked up, but you know, that shouldn't matter. But how, two different magnetos, both new, grounded like that, straight out, and I can even take this and add another ground wire here. This isn't a heavy wire, but I got it going straight from the wire that kills it to this tab on the engine, and that wire is also hooked to that ground. Watch this. Spark. How can it spark? How can two of them spark? What am I missing? There's got to be something stupid or simple that I'm missing, maybe, huh? Is it just me missing something? If you have any ideas, please post your comments below. You know, theoretically, a lot of people don't say, well, it's something in the tractor, but wouldn't you think that one ground wire in itself, being the only thing hooked to the armature, wouldn't you think that would be enough to say we bypassed all the wiring in the tractor, especially when this wheel sending unit's unhooked? Am I missing something here, guys? I'm not sure if I've ever seen two of these. Okay, I noticed when I had the spark tester in line, it did shut down easier. Here it is with no spark tester, just hooked up. See, now that's better than it was. It was carrying on. There's what usually it does. Because it's still sparking. Like I say, even with that wire on there. There you have it.